muy padre.
The thing that I bought for you is a little present. There you have it. Pleasure.
Ahorita acabamos de ver esta gran interacción con el Aya. ¿Cómo se sintió, maestro, esta experiencia?
Padrísimo, muy divertido. Es raro que el actor que sale en pantalla y el que lo dobla se encuentre, ¿no? Y ya es la segunda vez que me pasa. Ya me ha pasado con otro actor, con Drake. Y ahora, bueno, me invitan en la mole a estar aquí con Frodo. Y para mí es una experiencia divertísima, pero yo creo que para los fans fue algo wow, ¿no? Y más cuando hicimos esto del Gandalf. Entonces, padrísimo, muy contento. Le decía a Elijah Wood, yo siento que no te conozco, pero sí te conozco porque te vengo doblando desde que éramos niños. Claro. Y además somos del mismo año. Tenemos la misma edad. ¿Cómo crees? Y le digo, entonces es raro porque de alguna manera te conozco. Es una sensación rara, pero muy positiva, a final de cuentas.
Hello. I love Mexico City. Muchas gracias.
Aquí un gusto estar con Elijah, que lo he doblado durante tantos años. Oigan, pues un gusto estar aquí. Y bueno, pues andaba un poco presionado, porque nunca he entrevistado a nadie en inglés, pero bueno, aquí voy a entrevistar a Elijah, que le decía que lo conozco, pero no lo conozco, ¿no? Muy raro. Bueno, bienvenido a México, a América Latina. Es un placer que estés aquí. Welcome to Mexico. It's a pleasure that you are here. ¿Es tu primera vez aquí? Is your first time here in Mexico?
It's my second time, well, third time in Mexico City. Fourth? Well, I don't count the last time because I wasn't staying here. I came through Mexico City. Oh no, I've been to Mexico many times. I've been to Baja many times. I've been to Tulum. But Mexico City I've been 3 times. I love Mexico City. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. Oh, and Monterrey. I've been to Monterrey too.
Ah, yeah, Monterrey también.
Yeah, Monterrey's cool. I went to a music festival in Monterrey and DJed with my friend Zach. It was great. Monterrey is awesome.
Sé que te gusta la comida mexicana, que eres muy fan. I know that you're a very fan of the Mexican food.
Sí.
What's your favorite plate dish? Tu platillo favorito?
Favorite dish? I don't know. Look, I love tacos. I love all kinds of tacos. I love tamale. I love all kinds of salsas. I love spicy food. I think Mexican food is actually incredibly diverse and expansive. I think outside of Mexico, in America, we know tacos pretty well. And there's obviously the American version of tacos, which is not the real thing. But in Los Angeles, there's a lot of incredible Mexican food. There are so many regions of Mexico with very different styles of food. It's incredibly diverse. It's an incredible place for food.
En Los Ángeles está la versión gringa de los tacos, pero está la...
What's that?
Marry her, please.
I'm already married.
Ya está casado, perdón.
En México te conocimos por primera vez en The Good Son, El Ángel Malvado. ¿Qué recuerdo tienes de la experiencia trabajando con Macaulay Culkin?
It was a great experience. It was a great experience for me. I had never worked on a movie that was really kind of almost horror adjacent. It's a sort of a horror movie, and I loved horror movies growing up, so it was really fun to work on something so dark. I had been a fan of Macaulay's work since, well, I guess Uncle Buck, but obviously Home Alone put him on the map. And to get a chance to work with him as a sort of contemporary of his was really exciting, and we had a great experience together. I think Macaulay might be a year older than me.
Okay.
Yeah, but basically the same age. We shot it in Massachusetts. A lot of the location, we were at this house that had this awesome forest. We would run around in the forest and play between setups. We had a really fun time.
¿Qué tipo de personajes te gusta más, Elijah? ¿Te divierten más como actor, lógicamente? ¿Héroes o villanos?
I mean, villains are fun. It really does feel like playing someone else. Yeah, there's something about playing a villain, tapping into sort of a darker kind of personality. Feels so different from who I am, and that makes that kind of fun to explore. I love playing all kinds of characters. I like characters that have depth. I love characters that have depth and complications that are not sort of so easily defined. I just think that they're more interesting to play. And I suppose darker characters tend to have a little bit more depth to them occasionally. I also just like being a part of something, a film that I'm excited about, and a story that I'm excited about telling, and the character's one part of that. You know?
¿Cómo fue tu experiencia, Elijah, filmando El Señor de los Anillos? Tengo entendido tengo entendido que lo filmaron en New Zealand.
I mean, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I think for all of us, it's unmatched in regards to the circumstances of the making of it. None of us had ever left home for that length of time to work on a single film. I mean, obviously it was 3 films. We shot them all at once, so it really did feel like one massive thing that we were making. It is one big story. It was an adventure unlike anything I'd ever experienced. It truly was an adventure. I fell in love with New Zealand. I made some of the best friends of my life. I was tasked with the portrayal of an important literary character that I certainly did not take that for granted. And the circumstances around it too. I was 18 when we started principal photography in 1999, and I was 22 when we were finished. So there's a huge amount of growth. Those are years that typically one goes to university, and I went to New Zealand. It's just extraordinary. And the filmmaking process as well, of at such a high creative level of all of these people who believed in what we were making so much. That was so palpable. It's weird, you know, the scale of the movies are so huge, but it really did feel like the world's largest independent film. There were thousands of people involved in the making of it, but it felt very intimate. It totally was, but it felt intimate. It felt small, like this cottage industry made in New Zealand. Away from Los Angeles or Hollywood or one considers a studio film now, in a lot of ways, it's not to be replicated because it was just very special at that time. To the point where when I went back to do a little bit on The Hobbit, everything had grown. There was suddenly, you know, sound stages that they built that were actually soundproof. The way in which we made those movies was so built out of blood, sweat, tears, and passion in a way that just it can't be replicated. So truly one of the best experiences of my life and the fondest of memories, you know.
Bueno, yo me enteré que eres DJ, es DJ Elijah Wood. ¿En dónde tocas? ¿En bares? ¿En fiestas privadas?
Look, I've loved music all of my life and been collecting music all of my life. And it's funny, it weirdly all started kind of in New Zealand. My first experience with a CD mixer, 2 CD players connected to a mixer, playing one song crossfade into the next, was there in New Zealand. And Dominic Monaghan and myself would occasionally DJ bars that were we just knew the people because we were locals, you know. We did that a couple of times and I really enjoyed it. Just the idea of playing music that I love loud for people, just that idea. And I just kind of kept with it as a hobby on the side. CDs gave way to iPods, digital files, so I started playing with iPods and connecting the iPods to a mixer. And then eventually I started playing with records and had sort of amassed enough of a collection to facilitate a relatively reasonably diverse set of music. And I never looked back. And once I learned how to play with records and to operate turntables in that way and start learning how to mix, I fell in love with it and took it more seriously. And it's funny because it was always something that I did for fun with friends. It's a funny thing in life. You don't feel legitimized until somebody else points it out. Somebody else was like, you're good at that. You should do that more. And I was like, oh shit, am I? I have no idea. I'm just doing this for fun. That made me take it more seriously. And I think also playing with records and eschewing digital files, because it's a whole other thing. So many things can go wrong when you're playing with records. And there's something kind of wonderful about that. I mean, I've done little mini tours in Europe with my friend Zach, who I DJ with a lot. Events we've played, small clubs. We've kind of done all kinds of different things, you know.
Wood and Wisdom is your name as
Yeah.
a DJ, right?
Yeah, with my friend Zach. We've never DJ'd in Mexico. We should do that. We did DJ in Monterrey. There's a music festival in Monterrey. We DJ'd.
You should come to Mexico City.
I know, it'd be great. We'd love to, yeah. Yeah, we'd love to.
Vas a muchas convenciones, interactúas con miles de fans durante la sesión de fotos y de firmas. ¿Qué es lo más curioso que te han regalado?
I don't know. I was at a convention and someone found a historic deed to a property from like the 1800s, signed by an Elijah Wood. And it was real. It was a real document. That was probably the most unique thing I've ever been given.
Please tell us about Wilfred. When I put your voice there, I saw it's a weird TV show, crazy, but funny, and then it turns to like a drama, right?
I mean, Wilfred's very special to me. Oh, cool. I mean, it was 4 years of my life working on this show. I had never been on a TV show like that before, or I'd guested on shows, right? I'd never been a lead actor on a TV show, so that was a new experience for me. And then to work on something so bizarre and unique and special and dark and funny and weird. The Australian show that it's based on is fantastic, so if you've not seen the original, you should see it, it's great. Jason Gann created that as well, which was all based on a short film. So you should check the short film out. There's a short film called Wilfred. There's a short film festival in Australia, Tropfest. So he won that, ended up making the show. They did 3 seasons, I think, in Australia, and then adapting it for the American market. So then I read it and then watched the original show and just instantly was in love with it. Its weird sensibility, its dark sense of humor, the sort of sense that this guy might have had a break from reality. So it also sort of deals with mental health in a really interesting way. And Jason is so unbelievably brilliant, so to work with another actor who really drives that show and drives that character. Ryan is sort of constantly on his back, you know, reacting to what sort of chaos Wilfred is throwing him into. Or maybe he's putting himself through it, but who knows? Yeah, I love that show. I love it. It's so much fun.
Y tenemos esta última pregunta. Hoy en día los actores de imagen, los actores que hacen cine, como nosotros los actores de voz, estamos luchando contra la inteligencia artificial. ¿Qué piensas de esto, Ilaya?
It is, yeah. It's a broad subject. The work that we do as actors, it's a bit scary. Certainly on the voice side of things, it feels like it could really change the landscape of voice acting and voiceover work. And it already is. I mean, I've already spoken to people who are in that world more than I am, who, you know, for commercial purposes are told, oh, you don't need to come in now because we've got this sort of voice that can handle it. I do believe that authenticity is going to become that much more important to people. People are going to want to have a sense that what they're being given is authentic. And already there's a little bit of a backlash to AI existing, even within movies. I think they used a little bit of it in The Brutalist. They've used it in a couple of other films. And I think when all is said and done, I think it's going to integrate into our lives in ways that we still don't know or understand. But I do think from an artistic standpoint and from a cultural standpoint, people are always going to want authenticity and know that the voice they're hearing, the actor they're witnessing is real and is being driven by a real person. That's my feeling and my hope. You know, a complete AI character is fine and interesting, but I think you still will see that, at least now, with a degree of kind of understanding that that's something that's been fabricated. Again, in the long term, people are going to want to know that the thing they're watching or listening to is real. Maybe that'll change, who knows? We're about to experience a paradigm shift, and I think beyond this moment, it's really difficult to tell where it's going. The thing about performance is that performance is driven by choices that a person is making. If it's sort of self-generated, it just takes the humanity out of the thing. A voice actor is making choices, and I think that's really important and should never be taken for granted.
Tenemos tiempo para pocas preguntas.
Tenemos tiempo para un par de preguntas. Entonces, si tenemos tiempo, yo creo que la dinámica va a ser interesante. Levanten la mano, cosplays de Frodo. Empezamos con cosplays de Frodo para preguntas. ¿Quién? A ver, rápido, aquí preguntó.
Wow.
Pregunta, por favor.
Hola, buenas tardes. Digo, aprovechando que ahorita tenemos a Elijah Wood y pues a Enzo en la voz de Frodo, ¿podremos recrear el grito ese de Gandalf?
Wow. He was prepared for this. Vamos.
Gandalf!
Gracias.
Antes de irnos, before leaving, I want to give a present to Elijah. Something that I bought for you. It's a little present. There you have it. Pleasure.
Guys, thank you so much. It's been so wonderful.
Muchas gracias. Un fuerte aplauso para